We are back with asset protection attorney Ike Devji of Arizona Wealth Law. Please remind our viewers a little bit about what you do, your very extensive expertise.
Well, thank you, Susan. My background is that for the last 16 years, I've devoted my legal practice entirely to protecting the wealth of successful Americans. It's comprised of a group of several thousand physicians and another couple thousand higher net worth private business owners.
What do they call you?
They typically refer to me as the bodyguard for their money.
I love that. I love that. I could see that. I could see that. Asset protection, remind us what that is.
Sure. Well, asset protection is many things, but first and foremost, it's proactively organizing and separating your assets and liabilities so that they can't be taken away from you, so that you're not liable for what happens there, and so that you can predictably keep them till the end of your life.
So people who are watching may say, asset protection, that's just for the wealthy, but you say no, you have clients of all financial backgrounds.
Sure. Many of our clients are high net worth or ultra high net worth. Many others are on their way to being there, and they don't ever want to take a step back. No matter what your net worth level is, there's something that we should all be doing to protect ourselves, and the question is what?
So what are some of those specific things that we should be doing right now to protect our money?
Well, one of the things you and I talked about in the earlier segment was certainly insuring ourselves properly, and that means all the right kinds of insurance to the right amounts. That's the first level of protection. The other thing we should be doing is making sure that we're using the right tools. So for instance, do you own your rental property in your own name? Or is it in the appropriate legal structure? Is your home, which is only protected to $150,000, in the right kind of trust? Under Arizona law, we only have $150,000 in homestead. Have we done something if you have equity above that? Those are just two very common examples.
Yeah, and as the bodyguard, that's what you're there to do. You're there to keep us out of danger financially.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about some of those mistakes that people make. You hit on some of them right
Sure.
there, but what are some of the common mistakes that people are doing when it comes to protecting their assets?
Well, again, number one is relying just on insurance, because we understand that insurance can protect us from some things, but not everything. Another very common one is doing nothing and waiting until something bad happens, and then going on a fire drill and trying to move assets or give them away or transfer them, which is illegal. That doesn't work either. Another thing is not understanding your risk factors. People might, for instance, a doctor is only worried about a malpractice claim, but overlooks the fact that they're also an employer, a building owner, and the parents of kids driving cars. So we have to look at all of those risk factors and treat every client holistically.
And don't do it when you're dying. That's what you were saying, right? Do it when you're young and healthy.
Exactly. Asset protection, again, we refer to as life planning, right? It is the other side of the coin from estate planning, which is death planning. So let's do it while you have these assets, while you're continuing to grow, so that we can make sure you get to keep and enjoy them no matter what happens.
So how does the process start? I mean, you have folks who are watching who maybe have never even thought about protecting their assets. How do we get started?
Sure, that's a great question. The process is easier than most people think. It starts with a conversation and an exam where we can figure out what you have, figure out what your risk factors are, and then prescribe the right course of treatment, if you will. It's almost like going to the doctor, right? There's an exam, a diagnosis, and then a prescription of the right tools and structures and behavior that are going to help keep you safe.
Wow, you're a lot of things. You're a watchdog, you're a bodyguard, you're a doctor, you do it all. You prescribe the best medicine for keeping us wealthy in the future.
We do our best.
All right, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Let's give you a special offer now. Mention Sonoran Living and you will receive a free consult rate. Arizona Wealth Law, they are located at 8245 North 85th Way. That is in Scottsdale. Maybe you have a question. Maybe something came up today that you want to know. Call 602-808-5540. They also have a website, azwealthlaw.com.